Hey guys, so it is an exciting weekend. Not because I got to go out and have a big backpacking adventure somewhere, though I did get to go camping with my son and with our local scouts, so that was still cool. But when we got back from that yesterday, I received what I've been waiting for quite a while now, and even longer, just to be able to afford it. A TarpTent Notch specifically, a new solo single-man shelter that is ultra light at 27 ounces, and that is really light for a double wall shelter. Double wall being that it has a bug net screening inside as well as a separate fly over the outside, and either one can be set up differently. So I have been eyeing this for a couple years now, and I keep comparing it to other options as I've been waiting for the opportunity to buy one when I had enough money. These things aren't cheap. They're not the most expensive shelter in its class out there, but it's definitely not cheap. And so I was recently blessed with a little bit of an inheritance from my grandmother who passed away last year, and so I was able to take some of that and make it go towards this. And yeah, like I said, I've been waiting for a long time to be able to get this. It's actually been out for about 4 years. I think it first came out about 2012 or so. And yeah, they're popular among people on through hiking trails. It's not the most popular model out there that TarpTent makes, but anyway, I'm excited. So I've not opened it yet, so I'm going to call this the unboxing of my TarpTent Notch and see what we got here. And one important note, do not use blades to open this. Also, you can be proud, this is made in the USA. I think they hand-stitched these in their factory out in California. Okay, so a couple little accessories I added onto my order was, one, a pre-cut piece of Tyvek here to use as a ground sheet. So, set that aside. Invoice. A seam sealing kit. These do need to be seam sealed, or you can pay extra to obviously have the seam sealing kit, but so this does cost a little bit, or you can pay a little bit more and have them do it for you before they ship it. But it is cheap enough to do it yourself, simple enough to do it yourself, that it was worth the savings to just get the kit. You can also create your own silicone solution with stuff from the hardware store. TarpTent's got a video on how to do that as well. Yeah, so I just went with the convenience of getting their pre-mixed silicone solution. We'll get that on the TarpTent today here in a little bit to seam seal it. And here we are, the TarpTent Notch. And I can tell you what, guys, this is significantly lighter than my other one-man tent that I've been using. Probably a lot of it has to do with the fact that this shelter doesn't come with any poles. You actually set it up with, it's designed to be set up with trekking poles. And since I frequently take those out, that was another big appeal to that. I can multi-purpose or multi-use my trekking poles as tent poles, and still enjoy the convenience and versatility of a double wall shelter with this thing. So I think we'll open it up here and just have a look at what's inside real quick before we set it up. So looks like there's a little bit of a instruction sheet here. So that's always good. And then it does come with a set of its own stakes here. Let's see what we got. So they're 4 little Easton stakes. I think I'm gonna trade these out with some MSR Groundhog minis I have. They're probably comparable in weight. They're both aluminum, about the same size, but the Groundhog minis are shaped in a way that they just hold better in sandier conditions and other conditions. So, and they're just sturdier, I find. So, might try these out in some areas, but I think the Groundhog minis, that's what I'm used to using, and they're much more adaptable to different conditions. So, but I do like the little carry sack it comes with. That's nice. So let's go see if we can get this set up now. I've watched videos on it before. I'm going to see what I can do with memory before, see if I can do it without consulting the instructions it came with. So here we go. Right, you guys, this is exciting. So officially the first look at the TarpTent Notch. That is the first look for me anyways. Seeing one in person in my own backyard. And so let's have a look around it and check out the features. So of course it's TarpTent is known for sill nylon tents. They're lightweight. First of all, there's some extra little cord lock clips here, and these are for adding extra guy line to it, and you can add greater stability to the tent in extremely windy, stormy conditions. That's a good thing to have, and so you got one on each apex of the tent here, one on that side, one on this side. Just some little Velcro straps on each of the upper seams. That's to hold your fly doors open. You got more on this side. We got some vents right here. Looks like those just stay open. And that's good for ventilation, of course, helps minimize condensation. It's important to know that you got this buckle clip here on your door, your fly. What you want to do is have that clipped on before you zip it, and keep it clipped when you unzip it, and then unclip it to roll it back. The reason why you want to do that is because this buckle clip, the way it's sewed on there, helps ease the tension off the zipper, so you're not putting too much tension on the stitching of the zipper there. Looks like there's some other little loops here. I imagine you can also tie off a couple little short little guy line here with some extra stakes to hold this taut to the ground, again to make it more storm proof in extreme conditions. You have them on all sides of the fly there. One other little feature to show is at the end of each end of the fly here is a little detachable door here that can be rolled up and tied off with little tie-out straps here. And that will give you even more ventilation, so you still get shelter from the casual rain, but you get a little window out the end there and just extra ventilation, which is always nice. And then to reattach it, you just attach it there like so, and that'll help hold on a little bit more warmth if you're trying to build up a little warmth inside on the colder nights. So let's open her up and see what she looks like inside. One part I forgot to do to complete the setup was to take the Velcro loops here, and it just attaches around the handlebar of your trekking pole. After completing the setup with the inner tent body attaching to the trekking poles there, first thing we'll look at is the inner vestibule here. There's one on each side, and we're going to see what it looks like with a pack inside. So there's our pack, and not much of it sticking out there. So just enough space for a pack to sit on the inside, and of course you could put your shoes right there and any other little gear, cook kit, whatnot, and then take your fly, zip it back out, and that would be plenty of coverage for your pack, shoes, cook kit, and all that, without interfering with the ability to get in and out, because of course on the other side you can enter and exit from that side. So it's another feature I really love about this tarp tent. Another big reason why I got it is the dual-sided entry and exit and dual vestibules. A little bit overkill for a single solo man shelter for some people, but I do love the functionality and luxury and convenience that all provides with very minimal extra weight. And now we're going to open up the zipper and compare the interior size with a standard size sleeping pad. This is standard 70 inches by 20 inches. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of extra space on either side. You know, you can have a little extra interior gear that you want to hold close to you, like jackets and whatnot, can easily fit on either stuff on the side of your pad there. Also, you got a little bit of extra space down here, maybe 6 inches or so at the end of the pad, and about another 6 to 8 inches of space again at the top of the pad, probably closer to 6 inches there. And so definitely plenty of space for the average height person. So for me, I'm 5 foot 10 inches, and this is plenty spacious for me. So yeah, this is actually more spacious than my other tent, which is much cheaper but also much heavier that I've been using. So I'm excited. I gained more space for less weight. One thing we'll notice about this tent is that there are no actual gear pockets or storage pockets sewn in anywhere. That would have been nice even along the side here. Could have been nice to have a little pocket to just store a book or glasses or whatever. What they do include are some little hooks up here in the corners, so you could tie a little laundry line, as we'll call it, or a little ridge line across the width there, and then you could probably hang a little gear pocket off that, or at least hang a light from it. But otherwise, I don't know if I'd want to do that, because when you're sitting up, you know, probably just hit my head a little bit, and don't think I want to have that going, so no big deal. Something else I want to show is, so in this configuration, I've got my poles probably closer to 115. They say the optimal range of your trekking pole should be between 110 and 115. So as you notice, there's quite a bit of space here between the bottom of the fly and the ground. This is great in mild conditions and when it's warmer out, but you're still expecting rain. So you want to have that extra ventilation. That's fantastic. But in colder conditions, or when it's extra windy, dusty, and you want maximum protection, what you want to do to get the fly closer to the ground would be simply to lower your pole height. So if I lower my trekking pole a little bit, and that should bring it down to right about there. And then I will attach my fly back. Zip it shut. And then pull it a little more taut here. And you do repeat on the same side. And now you got only a couple inches of space here, and of course you can block out that space with extra gear, so you can really close it off in there. If you put your pack and shoes and whatnot, line that up against the inside here if wind's blowing in that direction, and you got yourself pretty flexible shelter here. And again, you know, you can bring this a little lower with extra stakes and cords if you're expecting considerably foul conditions. So now it's time to seam seal it. Guess I'll use the glove it came with. Don't know how necessary that is, but got it, I'll use it. So here's the pre-mixed solution came with. I probably could have gotten away with a smaller bottle. I think they had smaller size. I want to say this is supposed to be the bigger size. Doesn't look very big as it is, but I got a little extra because I got another little DIY project that I'm going to use the leftovers for. So gonna probably put about half of this in here to start. A little goopy. Dab this little sponge brush came with, and get liberally coat it, and then just firmly run it down the seams here. Making sure to work that solution right into where all these seams are. And then take a paper towel. Just want to wipe off any excess that comes off the edges here. Alright, well, I think I hit all the seams. Hope so anyways. The only way to know if I did it right is to sit in it when a big rainstorm comes, which I think we'll have plenty of those in the forecast for this week. If that doesn't feel like enough, I can always get the hose out and do the hose test. And if it survives all that, then I think it'll be ready for the backcountry. And if not, if I get some leaks, then I guess I gotta repeat the process and be even a little bit more liberal with the silicone coating. And so, but I think I did it. And there's a great video TarpTent has on their YouTube channel that shows you how to do it, how to mix your own solution with silicone and mineral spirits from the hardware store. If you want to do it yourself. And same steps, same principles apply for just about any other seam sealing project. So we'll give it some time to dry, and then we'll have a quick look at it with the fly off and the inner body set up only, and then we'll have a look with the fly only set up. So stay tuned. One other step that's recommended that I forgot to do is to paint some stripes of silicone on the inside. And the benefit to that is when you put your pad in, the pad's not prone to slip, because most situations you're going to be sleeping on slightly tilted ground, usually with your head up on the high end of the ground and sloping slightly downward. And so very rarely are you lucky to get a perfectly flat spot, but these silicone stripes across the floor here definitely helps keep your pad in place. Start with this inner seam here. This is actually probably important no matter what. So this is a nice little bathtub floor as well. Alright, so I'm just going to do about 3 stripes on each side, about every 6 inches or so, and hope that's enough to do the trick. Alright guys, it's been plenty of time this afternoon for the silicone seam sealer to dry on TarpTent here. I'd love to test it out in the rain right now, make sure it works. We are expecting rain this evening and all day tomorrow, so I might bust it out tomorrow and give it a good test if it's raining good and hard. Otherwise I'll bust the hose out later this week to give it a real good test. Well, we are doing the hose test to simulate some rain on the tent here, making sure my seam sealing has worked. So far, it's holding up. I'm not seeing any obvious drips coming through here. Let's have another quick look at a few more modes of setup here. I'm going to peel back the fly doors here and roll them back and set it up in what I'm going to call window mode. Alright, so as you can see, when you do that, the TarpTent here likes to collapse. So, what you have to provide for yourself, because it was not included with the tent, are some extra guy lines to be able to support this mode. So I've got some extra little spare guy line cord that I've got, so just some reflective cordage here. And so as shown earlier, there's these little line locks here, and slip those through, slip your cord through. And just like so. Take that in and tighten that up a little bit. And so there's one method, and go around and do the other side here. Alright, so this is what I'm going to call window mode. You got full windows on both sides. Now I'm going to remove the inner screen tent here and leave just the fly up. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the fly removed. Of course, with the fly door still open, this is a great little hitch here just for a simple sun shelter if you just want to take a little break out of the sun and maybe you don't have much shade around elsewhere in natural shade from trees or bushes. You set this up and have your lunch under here and get out of the sun for a little bit. So. And I've seen in one person's video they've actually been able to get 2 pads under without this greenhouse. So we're going to try that here real quick and see what that looks like. Alright, kind of a snug squeeze there between the poles, but so far so good. Now the real test is, what does it look like when we close up the doors here? So the fly is all set up now with the doors shut, and as you can see with these particular pads, the corners still stake out a little bit. Now these are fully rectangular pads. This corner of this pad's actually well covered, just barely. Just a little bit of corner on that pad. So if you can imagine these pads being a couple of thermo-rest neo lights with the tapered edges, I don't think you'd get the corners sticking out like that. So, with a couple Neolite or similar shaped air pads with tapered edge, could you fit 2 people under this fly? Yes, I think you can. Let's have a look here with the door open again. So again, if these were 2 Neo Air lights from Thermarest or similar shaped pads with the tapered corners here, you could easily fit 2 of those under this shelter here and have a 2-person shelter if you're not using the bug net. So, and it's fully closed, so you still get your privacy and all that. So that's pretty versatile, I'd say, in that respect. That's pretty cool that you can leave the bug net at home, go fly only, and you know, have a 2-person shelter that way. Plenty of headroom and very nice. Right, so you still got these clips up here too. This is what the bug net actually clipped onto, and you can actually clip a line along the top here and hook it up on the other end. And again, like inside the bug net, you can rig a line there and hang a light if you need a light, and anything else, glasses, whatever else you want to hang on a ridge line. Now we're going to look at it with just the bug net only setup. So I'm going to take this down and set up the bug net. Okay, so here's the bug net set up. It's functional, keeps the bugs off you, and you can still get a good view of the stars, which is my favorite part of going topless. Being able to watch the night sky. Alright guys, just fiddling around here a little more. One concern with this tent was that it was not freestanding in any way, shape, or form. So taking it down onto the deserts and canyons of southern Utah where it's all sand and slick rock could have been a little tricky. Sandy spots, hard packed sand could have been alright with my ground hog stakes, but on slick rock and elsewhere it wouldn't work unless you can figure out how to set it up with rocks. So just playing around here, and here I've taken the stakes out and just added a little extra loop of cord here. This is the cord I made to tie down the ends with the bug net only, and so I just looped those through right here, one loop, and here's the other loop, and then I'm able to take a rock found in my garden, just loop that through. But there's always rocks like this down in southern Utah. You can especially less round rocks, so you need to get a better grip in there. So I think that's going to hold okay. And then just similar concept down here on the end, although these cords are already there because you usually stake this end right here. You put your stake in. Well, I took the stake out and just popped a rock in there and pulled the cordage around it and just adjusted it until it was nice and taut. And yeah, same thing all the way around. Some other rock and another rock. So 4 big rocks substituting as 4 stakes. And yeah, guys, I think this will work. Of course, we'll find out if we ever have to do it this way and it gets super windy. Okay guys, I've got my little scale out here. I'm going to verify the weight of my TarpTent Notch. TarpTent says on their website that it should only weigh 27 ounces. Let's check it out. And there we go. It locks in right at 27.5 ounces. That is 0.78 kilograms, or 1.72 pounds. So at 27.5 ounces, that's with the stuff sack and a little bit of silicone seam sealing. I think they're pretty much right on the money. Hey guys, well, that's the TarpTent Notch I just got. Couldn't be more excited to have it in my family of gear, and I think it's going to be my go-to shelter for many of my trips. Still not sure if I'm going to want to use it down in the desert all the time, because even though I can set it up with rocks with the full fly here and the bug net only, which is what I'd like to do more often than not when I got clear skies down in the desert and have a clear shot of the skies to look at the stars. That's going to be a lot trickier and a lot more work to try and set up on a bug net. So still might give it a go, but I could still see myself taking a more freestanding tent that I could set up a little bit easier to enjoy a night out under the stars without worrying about bugs and other creepy crawlies getting all over me. Or I'll just take it and use it if it's gonna storm or rain, and just cowboy camp without a bug net in the nighttime. So anyways, that's the tent, and stay tuned for more videos where I actually get it out in the field and check it out there. So, alright, time to take it down and pack it up. Go.